Put them on the horses.
Do we wait for the other three?
No, they won't show now. Anybody within 10 miles would have been scared off by our gunplay.
Trackdown, starring Robert Culp. Brought to you by Lucky Strike, a light smoke, the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Light up a light smoke, a lucky strike. The right smoke's a light smoke, a lucky strike. For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike.
Light up a light smoke.
A lucky strike.
You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Millie?
All right, where is it?
Who are you?
You've got something at the freight office today.
Yes, but
Well, our money, wasn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
After you dug it up, you had it shipped to you here.
Where is it? Oh, I'll show you. This is the freight I received.
Robert Murchison, who gave information which led to the quick demise of two of the Rock Springs bandits, was to be honored with a barbecue and dance on the day the reward money arrived. Hoby Gilman had been on the road from El Paso for 48 hours. His mission? To deliver $500 in reward money to one Robert Murchison. Hoby's desire? A hot bath and a clean bed. The time? 4:30 p.m., June 16th.
Sal?
Hoby Gilman!
Hi. Well, the way you hate teetotalers, I'm surprised to see you using water on anything.
Oh, there've been lots of changes around here.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Come on inside, honey.
Well, I can't just now. I'm looking for the sheriff.
After all this time, you can spare me 5 minutes.
Well, I'll drop back a little later.
That's a promise here.
Right. Hoby Gilman.
John Kemp.
I have $500 reward money here. I'd like to deliver it to Robert Murchison.
You can deliver it if you can find him. He's missing.
Since when?
3 days ago.
Well, a man could decide to go anywhere. Maybe he just got on a horse.
Not Robert. Scared to death of horses. He wouldn't get on one if his life depended on it.
Well, maybe.
I got a maybe of my own. Maybe he's dead. He started missing just about the time somebody took a shot at him.
Did he get hit?
I found no blood.
Well, maybe he's hiding out in town somewhere.
I've been to every house. I got everybody on the lookout. We're mighty fond of Robert in these parts.
Oh, I guess you must be. A man waiting a holiday all to himself.
Well, we're not the only ones who are worried. The Rangers could have sent that money by Wells Fargo. Instead, they sent you.
Well, we only got 2 of the men who held up the Rock Springs Bank. The other 3 are still running around loose. We thought maybe Mr. Murchison could help us find the others.
Wouldn't be surprised if they're here. It figures they took the shot at Robert. We sure let them know where they could find him.
Yeah, every saddle fat in the territory has made a beeline for Alpine to get in on a free feed. Hard cases could have drifted in with the others.
Well, if you want to leave that money with me, I'll hold it in the hopes he shows up to claim it.
Yeah, I'll be glad to leave it. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to smell out his trail. There's still $10,000 that hold-up money missing.
You think he was in on it?
Well, I don't know. There was a hold-up, and Mr. Murchison came into Ranger headquarters and reported that there was going to be a rendezvous to split up the money. Now, all I want to know is how he got the information.
I tell you, you got the wrong medicine. He's just not that kind of a man.
Well, let's try and find him and see.
All right, Hobie.
I'll be with you in a moment. You can just look around to your heart's content.
Well, thank you, ma'am. We will when we get another chance, but...
Well, Hobie.
Oh, Millie.
Hobie Gilman.
Guess there's no sense in introducing you two.
No, we're old friends.
You know, I thought you were one of those sightseers. Everybody's heard about our greenhouse, and they come from all over the territory to gawk at it.
Well, I don't blame him. I've never seen one before myself.
It's the first one in Texas. You know, Robert says he's going to make all Texas green.
Now, Millie, it won't be any use if you start blubbering.
Sheriff tells me that you're the last one to see Mr. Murchison.
Yes, it was last Wednesday. Robert had just come back from the express office as happy as a lark. A plant he'd been waiting months for had finally come. It was a cymbidium orchid.
See, well, what time was that?
Well, that was about 7 in the evening, but the sheriff already asked me all this.
I know.
It can't hurt to tell it again.
Well, Robert had supper with me. Then he said he was going back to the greenhouse. It was about 10 o'clock that I heard the shot. I ran over to the greenhouse, but there was nobody here. Not Robert, not anybody.
And you didn't see anything else or hear anything?
I heard horses gallop away.
Mm-hmm. And that's all?
Yes, except that the cymbidium orchid is missing. After Robert waited so long for it, too.
I didn't ever meet this Robert, did I?
No, I think when you were here, he was in Houston trying to raise money for his greenhouse.
Well, he must have raised quite a bit of money.
He did, but he always seems to need more. Robert's a terrible businessman. All he thinks about is trying to bring beauty into other people's lives. Money doesn't mean anything to him, so he always seems to need it.
Mm-hmm. Well, where's he from originally?
Back east, Boston.
Uh-huh. Got any friends in town? Might want to take a shot at him?
Absolutely nobody. Robert's the kindest, the sweetest, the most wonderful human being in all the world. He's so helpless. If he's out there somewhere in the wilderness, he won't even know how to take care of himself.
You've been mighty cooperative, Millie. If we need your help, we'll be back.
Later on, when I get a little more time, we'll have a nice visit. All right?
What?
Okay.
Banyan. The ranger just went into the freight office.
Well, let's not lose sight of him, huh? Well,
Not only hasn't there been a stage out of here in 2 days, there hasn't even been one come in.
What about wagon trains?
No, we're too far off the trail. You know that, Sheriff.
Once in a while, a stray will straggle this way, but there hasn't been one in a long time.
Say, friend, you got a parcel for me? store in San Antone was supposed to send me some spurs, special made up just for me.
Well, you got a name?
Joe Gah, supposed to be here a week ago. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to be here a week ago, too. But you know, Texas wind and weather, you can never predict that.
Well, it wasn't in on the Wednesday stage.
Well, it'll probably be in on the next one. Oh, did you catch that tree fella yet?
Not yet.
Uh-huh. You know something, when you do catch him, I'll bet you find that bank money on him, too.
Well, that's the kind of talk going around. Not from the townspeople, mind you, not from the people who know him best. Just saddle tramps are coming here for a free feed.
You can't stop talk.
I'm telling you as sure as I'm standing here facing you. Robert Murchison is a victim of foul play.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the general impression.
I know it in particular.
How?
Now, didn't he come in here every day and pester me for months on end? Didn't he come in here every day and ask me when the Cymbidius...
I know what you mean.
Well, this flower. An orchid it was, being shipped here all the way from England, Europe. He said it would gladden the eye of any man. Well, you should have seen it when it got here. Why, it was packaged like a precious diamond. In burlap that had to be kept damp all the time. With a wire cage around it so it wouldn't be crushed like it was a delicate bird. And like he said, it would gladden the eye of any man.
Well, how does that make him the victim of foul play?
Well, now, does it make sense that any man has been waiting so long for something? Something only arrived here 3 days ago? Does it make sense that he'd be gone on his own will?
Well, why was this flower so important?
Well, like he said, it would grow good in Texas. It would help make Texas beautiful.
Well, you figure that somebody from another state was against that?
I figure he wouldn't leave here unless he was blasted out.
Well, since all these strangers have been drifting into town, did you notice if Robert spoke to any of them special?
Why, he talked to everybody special. That's the kind of a man he is. Or maybe he was.
Don't go burying him yet.
Well, thanks very much for your help.
It's no trouble at all. My pleasure.
You mind if I borrow this?
I know. Help yourself.
All right. So that's a 15-mile circle around Alpine.
Now, Murchison wouldn't get on a horse. No coaches, no wagons went in or out. And you claim he's not in town.
He isn't.
Then allowing that our thinking is correct, he must have walked out. Now, a man can only walk so far, especially a tenderfoot like him. He's got to be in that area.
Might be.
Where?
Well, that's a lot of territory. The wastelands on the west you can count out, but the foothills to the east could hide a man real good. Now, over here is Fort McGill. The soldiers left 5-6 years ago. It's caved in and useless now. And in here is David's diggings. Showed promise of silver, then petered out. All that's left is a hole in the ground and some rotten timbers.
Well, it's worth a try. Now, one thing, it might be better if you rode in kind of quiet, if he didn't know you were coming.
If he's hiding from fear, he'd be mighty happy to see this star.
Unless he's hiding from the law. Like I mentioned, there's still $10,000 missing.
Like I mentioned before, Robert's odd for this part of the country. He never fired a gun, nor owned one. He couldn't have been mixed up in that holdup.
And how did he know about the bandits' rendezvous?
I don't know. He travels the length and breadth of Texas studying soil conditions. Maybe riding the stage one night were a couple or three of the bandits. Maybe they talked their plans. Maybe Robert heard them.
John, you don't really believe that.
I don't know. There's an explanation somewhere. First thing in the morning, I'll have a look.
Sheriff up this early since election.
Maybe he's out collecting taxes.
Maybe. Won't you tag along just for the exercise, huh?
Okay, Banyan. Pick a number. Ah, you'd never get lucky that way. Gilman. Any news of the tree man?
Any news of your spurs?
No, not at all. Oh, I'd like you to meet Mr. Banyan. Mr. Banyan, Mr. Gilman. Mr. Gilman's got the reward money for that party, address unknown.
I read about it in the papers. $500. It's a lot of money.
Hope you got it in a safe place. A lot of hard cases in town.
I think it's safe behind bars.
That may be, but all I can say is it's mighty peculiar that Robert and $10,000 should be missing at one and the same time.
Well, I'm of the opinion he didn't steal any money. But if a man like Murchison has taken up bank robbing, then bank robbing is the proper thing to do.
Right, Lee.
Some folks are sure generous with other people's property.
Take it easy.
We worked hard to get that money. I'm going to be awful hard on the man who took it from us.
This one's on the house.
Well, a man could get spoiled with so much attention.
It's our way of trying to get you to stay here forever.
I'm afraid forever's going to come tomorrow, Sal.
Let's hope it's not that soon.
Well, depends on the sheriff.
That Hobie's a nice fella. It's going to hurt to kill him.
Light up the light smoke, a lucky strike. The right smoke, the light smoke, a lucky strike. For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike. Light up a light smoke, a lucky strike.
When you smoke a Lucky, you're smoking light. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Superbly light, naturally good-tasting tobacco that's toasted to enhance the lightness, to make the taste even better. So light up a light smoke. Light up a Lucky.
So hurry on down to the shop you like and get a light smoke Lucky Strike. And get a light smoke Lucky Strike.
You'll say a Lucky is the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
We went over every likely foot of ground. I'd be willing to say he's not in that 15-mile circle.
Well, then he never left here.
I told you I checked every building in town. Sorry, Hobie.
Water. Where's there water on here?
Water's hard to come by any place in these parts. Let's see now.
These hills?
Barren. The only place I know of water is in the mine shaft at David's Diggings.
What about the fort?
The only place is David's Diggings if a well ain't run dry.
And that's where Robert is.
Come again?
The flower he waited so long for, it's missing. He's got to have it with him.
Wouldn't be surprised.
It needs water.
Good morning. I was anticipating a different species of visitor.
A lot of people are worried about you.
Yes, I know. I did leave rather hastily, and I regret the inconvenience I caused my friends. By the way, it's not my nature to impose on anyone, but do you by any chance have a bit of food?
I'll have some beans and a little sow belly if that appeals to you.
Oh, my dear fellow, after gopher meat, sow belly is pure ambrosia.
All right. You satisfied?
Not quite. As soon as I digest what I've already had, I'd like a bit more.
I thought you'd be anxious to collect a reward.
I don't deserve it.
Sure you do.
But you don't understand. I never gave any information to the Rangers. I never had any to give.
You were in El Paso.
I haven't been in El Paso for 6 months.
Well, the newspaper, Sheriff.
I was appalled when that story appeared. I denied it immediately to the sheriff, to the editor. The town is so fond of me that they insisted upon making me a hero. And nobody would believe my denials.
Why'd you run?
Very simple. I was terrified. 2 men visited me, began to rough me up, claiming I had their money. I ran, they shot after me. Here I am. Get in the mine!
Keep your chin up, Robert. We're not dead yet.
You haven't got a chance and you know it. Come on out, we'll make a deal.
You can go out if you want to.
I'm scared, not stupid.
Don't be selfish, Hoby. We can't let you make it, but why force him to die too?
Come in and convince us.
Murchison! I'm talking to you. Murchison, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All we want from you is our money.
I haven't got your money.
Somebody dug it up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Be smart. Tell us where it is and we'll let you go.
Is your way out?
You too?
Now, if you've got it, this is your only chance to use it.
Isn't it obvious that I'm a coward? If I had an exit, I'd take it.
Murchison, how about it?
I told you I haven't got your money.
Well, somebody has.
One of you boys!
We supposed to make you happy and start fighting amongst ourselves, Hoby?
5 of you held up the bank. Who but you 5 knew where the money was hid? 2 are dead, 3 are here. How would Murchison know where the money was buried?
Save your breath, Hoby. It won't work.
Why would it be one of us, Ranger? Because $10,000 split 5 ways is short money for a hog. One of you went to El Paso, claimed he was Robert Murchison, and informed about the rendezvous. 4 of you were supposed to be ambushed. Unfortunate for the renegade, only 2 showed up on time.
Makes sense, Ranger. If it was one of us, why would he be here?
So that the other 2 would never have cause to doubt him.
All this on your say-so? Murchison, we're ready to make a deal.
Not on my say-so, Banyan. He figures to have some of the money with him. What do you got to lose checking your saddlebags?
Nothing.
Hold it. You're just trying to cut down the odds.
You two can spare me. I'll be right back.
You're just stalling.
But just in case. I know it wasn't me.
Well, maybe it's God. We're letting him get the jump. You heard the Ranger. I'm a hog.
Amigo, ¿qué hora es?
Ah, es tiempo para encienda un ligero, un Lucky Strike. Fumada ligera, un Lucky Strike. Para el sabor que usted quiere, encienda un Lucky Strike. strike.
See, amigos, when you smoke a Lucky, you're smoking light. You're smoking superbly light tobacco, naturally good-tasting tobacco that's toasted to heighten the lightness, to make the taste even better.
For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike.
Light up a light smoke.
A Lucky Strike.
You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
I'll have the sheriff come out and pick up the bodies. You sure you don't want to ride?
No, thanks. I'm quite ashamed of the way I acted. I didn't realize how completely useless I am until you had to go out and face those men by yourself.
You've got nothing to be ashamed of. You make this country green, and you'll be worth more to Texas than 100 men like me. Well, we got a long way to go.
An odd sight. The man of the gun and the man of the soil side by side. But perhaps not so odd. Never has it been truer of any place more than the American West that progress makes strange bedfellows.
Hope you enjoyed Trackdown tonight. Be with us again next week. Meanwhile, when you want a light smoke, light up a Lucky. The best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Trackdown was brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company. Remember, tobacco is our middle name. And here's a word for filter tip smokers.
Mildness, 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 mildness makes the difference. In a filter tip, Tarryton, filter tip, Tarryton, mildness makes the difference. Pack after pack with each puff you take, your taste stays clean, fresh, wide awake. Mildness, 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 mildness makes the difference. Smoke filter tip, Tarryton, filter tip, Tarryton.